This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so that taken care of. I was asking, did you guys get a chance to work on the tasks that I gave you? I know a few people pinged me, but how about others? So did you guys try it? Like you did not get it, or you didn't get time to try it? Need to know something.
Hi Ankit, this is Avinash here.
Hey, Avinash.
Sorry, I didn't get the time yesterday. I was occupied with
Okay.
work.
How about others? I think I got
Hi, Ankit.
from Tushar, and there was one more person, Nikhil. And I think one more guy. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Shriram.
Uh, Ankit, I couldn't have time to some work, but I understand the concept. What?
Okay, that's good to know, Shriram. Anybody else? So nobody tried basically, right? Or is there anybody who tried and had some queries?
Hi Ankit, this is Adarsh here.
Yeah, Adarsh.
I think I tried that first whatever you gave, that palindrome one,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one I couldn't get it. I mean the last what that India is great or something you have posted. No, I couldn't understand
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I think I posted in the group as well, same one.
You did. Sorry, I don't check the group so much, man. I'm super busy. So was there a question you were saying that you posted?
No. I posted them in whatever my
Oh, you posted your answers. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Thanks for
I thought
Sorry,
trying.
someone would come
I couldn't
and
participate. This is Avinash here. Last 2 days I was
Yeah,
occupied with training sessions on Terraform. There are a couple of things which are going on with me, so I couldn't prioritize myself.
sure. That's okay. So guys, my only thing is this is not for me, right? This is more for you guys. So the more you practice, the more you learn. It's okay. I mean, all of us get busy. I have my escalation going on too, so I understand work and stuff comes in. But all I'm gonna say is, if you think that, and to be honest with you, I used to think the same way. I did a course sometime back, like maybe a few years back, and I thought, oh, the trainer is good. I can listen to him, and I can go to the training session. And anyways, I have the videos or audios or whatever, and I'll go through them later if I need be. But trust me, if you follow that process, I did it, and I'm telling you, I failed miserably. When time came, you know what? I even went ahead and took there was a, back in the day, it was I think 4 years ago, there was some sort of a test from LinkedIn, and that would give you a direct certificate or something. I thought, wow, I know Python. Let me go ahead and try it, and I did it, and you guys would believe I failed miserably, miserably. I thought it's easy because I remember everything from the class, and the same thing that the concepts were clear, but when you start implementing yourself, that is where the problem begins. That is when you know how much deep you are in the water. So again, I would only say that try as much as you can. Of course, work and personal stuff is there, and you guys have your own issues and stuff going on. And I know this is a free class, so don't take it personally as a free class kind of a thing that, okay, that's happening. But it's time to get a little bit serious if you're really serious about a career in Python. And believe me, the more you learn Python, the more you understand it. And every few days you will think, oh, I didn't knew this at all. And you can say I'm a Pythoner. Well, to be honest with you, I still am not at that level. So these classes are gonna help me also. So that's the whole idea of giving you tasks, because I have to come about it, I have to think about it. Then I would expect that you guys at least give it a shot. Agreed, 1 or 2 times it may happen that you have your work or personal commitments. That's fine. And that's one reason why I also chose Wednesday to be off, so that in the middle of the week you can try some assignments. Because otherwise, what you hear is, hey, I would try it on weekend and stuff like that. So going forward, try to give it a shot at least, because they may sound like they're easy, but when you try to do it by your hand, you would see it's not that easy. Even Tushar tried it, and all of you have heard him and a few others talk, right? So he knows a lot of things, and even he had issues. So he pinged me individually, and the thing I liked was at least he tried. That is the whole concept. That is the whole idea behind these trainings. Otherwise, I can come here every day, talk for an hour, and you guys can keep the video, and then it'll. And again, believe me, guys, I'm not taking any class or anything right here. I'm not a principal. I'm just telling it for your benefit because I have done the exact same thing, and that's why I'm telling you guys. So it's up to you if you want to, follow it or not. That goes to everybody. I'm not pinpointing anybody. So that's okay. That was the first time, but try to be more involved and try to practice as much as possible going forward. All right. The other thing I wanted to get out before I start the session is, Sriram, you'll be my volunteer again. Do you guys want a session this coming weekend? Maybe we can do Saturday for 2 hours or 1.5 hour, a long session, and I would cover a few things. So depends on you guys. Whatever you want, you can post your answers on the WhatsApp, and Sriram can tell me after, maybe by tomorrow, like whatever you guys decided. I am available if you guys want to go. Maybe I'll take up a big concept like list or something, or we can even take some questions. Either way is fine. Or if you don't want it and this way is fine with you guys, that's fine with me too. So just let me know whatever you guys want. I am available for the weekend, and we can probably even do it a little earlier than this time. So maybe an hour earlier. What time is it in India? 10:30, right? So maybe 9:30 your time, or even this time is fine. Whatever time works for you. So just do me a favor, in the group, respond back with simple yes or no, and along with the suitable time you want. And then Sriram, you let me know what is the best.
Okay, Ankit. So I'm sorry for test. I will try.
No,
Next
don't
time
worry.
I
Don't,
will
don't,
definitely.
like I said, right, I'm not taking a class of you. I'm just giving you a feedback, all of you a feedback. So don't be sorry about it. Just try to come up with it. Otherwise, I'm telling you, by the time we finish this course, right, you would not remember anything. So, and this is from my experience. Again, everybody has a different experience. If you think it will work for you the way, it's up to you. Like I said, I'm just giving you guys a feedback. All right, enough of
Yeah.
that. So I am going to talk a bit more about strings, and I'm hoping we can finish it by today, and then we can start with lists or something else, which is even more better. Before I get started, does anybody have any question in the last few classes?
Hello.
And yeah, go ahead, Sriram.
Yeah, Ankit. In the last class, given test for me like as India. I love my India.
Yeah, I just thought that would be a good text.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea was to find number of times India was repeated in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the. It's a two, right?
it is true. Yeah, yeah. But how do you do it programmatically?
And one more thing, is it case sound or
No, case
case?
insensitive. That's what I said, right? Ignoring the. Did I mention that or not? Thought I did. Let me see the task.
Yeah, you have mentioned
I
Ankit.
did, right? Yeah, that's what I remembered.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
so
actually not able to understand that question, but now I'm getting it.
okay.
Probably next week, next class, I would be ready on that.
Yeah, if you guys have a follow-up question, right, please ask me. And do one favor to me because I have so many groups, right? When you ask a question particular to me, just use that @ symbol and tag me. Then I'll definitely make sure I'll see it. So ask any
Oh,
follow-up questions like this, that Ankit, I wasn't clear with the question or whatever it is, and then don't wait for the class, basically. Ask it right then and there. Okay,
okay, Ankit.
so now you guys are clear with the question, right? So basically, let me go ahead and start my screen sharing. And where's my screen? Which is my monitor one? Hold on, guys. Every time this is the problem. So are you guys seeing this screen, or like where I'm talking about day 4 string indices and all those stuff? Or are you seeing a different screen?
No, we see the screen with the day 4.
Okay, perfect. Nice, thank you. By the way, is there anybody new in the class today who hasn't attended any of our lectures earlier?
I actually attended the first one, but for my work, I couldn't attend the last 2.
And that was who, sorry?
Yeah, Tausif here.
Tausif, 1 second. There was somebody talking before you, right? Tausif, 1 second. Huh? Who was talking before Tausif? I'm sorry, I missed the name.
Is it me? My.
Yeah, my. Okay. And you said this is your first class, right?
No, I attended your
Oh,
first
you did.
class and
Oh,
you
okay.
said that we can skip the first week, right?
Oh, right. Okay, so
Yeah.
you are joining back for the
Yeah.
advanced classes. Okay,
Yeah.
now I get it. Perfect. Yeah, that's no problem at all. So we'll be doing uh, the few more basic sessions. So guys, can we go on mute, please? Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, so for all of you guys, not just whoever has some basic knowledge. So this week, I think we'll be doing some basic stuff only, strings, lists and stuff, but we'll be starting functions next week. So that is something you may not want to miss, even if you have basic knowledge. But yeah, please feel free. So great. Thank you. And yes, sir, Tausif now.
Yeah, today is my first day of job.
Today is your first day. Okay. You have any experience with any sort of programming languages, or this is your first time?
First time.
Okay. So Tausif, we haven't done much yet. I mean, well, actually we have, but yeah, go ahead with the recordings. If you don't have ping Sriram separately, he's been really
Yes,
kind
sir.
in keeping all those together, so he can share the recordings with you
The
and try to
past
find
3
time
lectures
to.
are done, right?
I think there were 4 or 5, but yeah, mostly first and second were like the similar one only, so you can just start from second one.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we've
Thanks.
done some basic data structures, like what are number types and stuff like this. Whatever I'm highlighting
Okay.
right now. Yeah, basics only so far. But yesterday's class, you don't, I mean, day before yesterday there was no class. You don't want to miss because string is a very important concept. And we started with string yesterday, and hopefully we'll finish today.
Okay, fine.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joseph. All right,
No
guys.
problem.
So I'm assuming rest of you guys are the same old batch. So let's go ahead and get started with it. So let me quickly explain the task that I was saying. So this was the task that if you have a string like something like this, you can come up with anything. I just came up with this. And I'm saying ignoring the case, count number of occurrences of India in this string. So what I'm looking for is if this is my input string, you should tell me that India is coming twice here. So count should be 2. So it doesn't matter whether India is capital or is it this, and you can even do this, you know. So then now you should tell me it is number, the count is 3, not just 2. And again, you can also add more times, whatever way you want, it doesn't matter. The more you add, the more better it is. So that is one of the tasks. And then there were 3 more tasks. Tausif, if you want to take a look at it. I don't know whether you joined the group after that or not, but you can reach out to Sriram. He'll tell you. And Sriram, thanks again for being the volunteer for this. It really helps me, man. All right. So let's start with today's thing. So I want to cover a couple of things first, and I want you guys to, of course, help me understand what you don't understand and where we are with everything. So remember, I also gave you, we were talking about this, right? What happened? Where was that? Where did that go? So I gave you that as a task also later to find out what is the problem with this statement. Let me bring it back. I think I deleted it. So I was trying to print my name in the reverse order, right? And Ankit has starts from -5 to -1. So did anybody thought, what did I miss here or what wrong did I do? Okay.
Out of bound, like the -5 is not tasting the exhausted, I mean to say, index.
Okay, that's a good expression. So let me go back and what happened to the drawing thing? Okay, sorry about that. Let me make this back again because it really helps everybody, including me. MKITANKIT 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and similarly -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So Abhinav, you were saying we went out of bounds route, right? But if you look at this, I am saying -1 to -5. Does anybody remember anything of this class or no? Nobody's stopping me today.
Ankit, that -1 will be at T now.
That's correct. Oh, Tushar, you're back? I thought you were not going to join today.
Sorry, joined little late today.
No worries. So I wasn't expecting you to answer that, but thank you. And you're right. So guys, this is how it was when I showed you. -1 starts at the end. So thank you, Tushar, for trying all the assignments also. I appreciate it, man. And I think I'm not going to answer your questions today because I want others also to try. So park your questions. We'll take them again. So see, string of -1 gives me t. But when I do this, that go from -1 to -5, why am I getting nothing? So somebody answered out of bounds question.
Yeah, because it will go to that right side.
You can do -1 to -4.
Okay, I'll do you what you say, -1 to -4.
It will also do the same.
Okay, I still get the same thing.
Step is not defined.
So if step is not defined, what does it take automatically? You tell me whatever you want me to do. I'm going to try whatever you're going to say.
Define step as -1.
Okay, define step as -1. That's a good one. Let's try that and let's see what's happening. Okay, we got something better than before. So that's a good idea. Did we get it right?
And for this one, for end we can define end is end -1. So there are 5 numbers. So 5 minus 5 minus 1. So it should be -6.
You mean this one?
Yes.
All right, let's see. That is good. So that worked. But, and I like that answer. Who was that? Sorry, others, right?
Yes.
So this is good, and this is good to keep in your pocket, but this is not the right way to do it. Or rather, I should say, this was not the right. Well, this is right, but I want to tell you what I was doing wrong. So the logic and the interpreter doesn't go like this, right? It always goes like this. So let me go back to my original example, which was this. Is it -5? And somebody who said out of bounds was right, because what is happening is it's going starting from -1. See, guys. So it's anything that you give after is going on the right side, right? It's nothing. So that's why you have nothing printed here. So what can we do? If I were just to use this, what others said, I used a step value, and that is also correct. But if I didn't wanted to use a step value, but still use negative indices, how can I still print it?
Ankit?
Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah. Can we give you a step 1 as a -1 is to?
I'll go to step. Let's first concentrate without the step. So maybe I can do this. Then I get this. ANKIT. So remember that was the original ask, that using negative indexes if I wanted to print the same number. So what was happening with the last one was we are printing it in the reverse direction. That was a separate task. But when we were doing this, we wanted to print the same name using negative indices. So that is how you're going to use the negative indices. Now, can somebody tell me why is T not getting printed? Are you guys able to see my screen down below? Let me bring it up. This is the output. So you see my T is not getting printed. Does anybody remember why?
It's like
Remember,
n minus 1.
Exactly. That is the answer. So remember when I was telling you guys, the last one always has to be n plus 1, or rather, because we go up till n minus 1, so you have to give anything more. Now, I'm saying we want to use negative indexes, so I'm not going to be able to use 6. So Namrata or anybody can tell me what can be done here? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this here and you guys gonna think about it and let me know. So what I'm looking at is I want to print Ankit using negative indices. Okay, so think about it. We guys are pretty close. Now only one simple thing is left and then you're gonna tell me about it. So, but Adarsh, your answer was right. And the reason I didn't wanted to go that way is because I want to tell you guys one more thing before we actually come to that. So I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about it. But before that, excuse me, let me go ahead and introduce something else to you guys. So have you guys heard of concatenation in any language? Forget about Python or anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So somebody can explain me? Yeah, fine, go ahead.
Yes.
Concatenation mean joining something.
Okay,
To
that's.
yeah, I learned that in SQL with the concat function. We did like two column joining two column.
Okay, that's a good idea. No, that's actually the right answer for him. So good. So concatenation in general means what he just said, basically joining two things. It could be applied to columns, rows, anything, two sentences, two words, two numbers, simply that. And how do we do that in a programming language is by using the arithmetic operator. So you can ask me, Ankit, we use arithmetic operator for this, 1 plus 2, but this gives you equal to 3, right? It doesn't mean that it's concatenation. That is correct because that is when used with numbers. But, so let me show what I'm saying. Print 1 plus 2 is what? 3, right? But I said talking about joining two things. So the moment you convert them to strings, I hope you guys remember this. This is another way of converting it to string. See, we join them. So 1 and 2 together are shown as 12. It's not really 1 plus 2 equal to 12. So the same plus operator works different on strings and works different on numbers. That is the whole idea behind concatenation. Now, that is the concept. You can take this concept to anything. Simple. Want to use hello plus world. So what do we get? Hello world. Now that doesn't look right, right? We wanted a space also. Anybody can tell me what can we do to fix this? Tushar, not you. I don't mean to pinpoint you, but I know you know these things.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I think you can concat the space too, right? Or no?
So like this, I gave a space.
Inside of quotation.
Exactly. So like we discussed earlier, right? Anything within the space, sorry, what did I mess up? Hold on. Anything within the quotes is considered as a string, even if it's an empty space. So that is the right answer. But do you think, Mahi, will it still work if I run it? Would I get hello world, hello space world?
No, you
No,
will
Okay.
get another quotation in the middle of world.
you can give place operator.
Yeah.
So like this, and that is correct. There you go. So see, you can use plus in whatever way you want to use it. It's totally up to you for simplest of all things and for, you know, the big of all things. So you may ask, what is the point of this, Ankit? What is the use case for it? So I'm going to just take Barack Obama. For the records, I love that guy. So you might see me taking a lot of his name. So now, let's say there was a form or something which you were filling and there was a first name and a last name. That's how it is generally, right? Now, but you wanted it to be printed. So what can you do? Either you can now use the variables directly and make the use of plus operator. What am I doing? So will this work? Will it give me Barack Obama? Let's see. All right, it did. So that was the reason why I was putting quotes in there. And this should do the trick. There you go. Now, if you wanted to add tomorrow some middle name in between, I don't know his middle name, but you can just say XYZ, then you can just add a middle name here as well.
So the empty quotation we put because we wanted to print space in between, right?
That's correct. The space between Barack and Obama is nothing but this. So it's not just empty quotation, it's quotation with a space in it. So empty quotation would be this, but I give a space in between. That's how it is taking that space as well. So see, now it is adding a middle name as well. So that in just basic terms is, concatenation. You can do this in another way. There's so many ways. You can just use another variable and, just save it in that, and even that would work. So what I'm saying is basically if you wanted to do this final name equal to first name plus last name, this should also work. And then you can do print final name, whatever you want to do. Everything is going to work. So that's how the plus operator is used. Any questions on that? I wanted to get over that. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I think we did discuss a bit about this, but I'm guessing that we should talk a little more. So if you wanted to count, for example, a particular word in a sentence, like how many times it is repeating, and it is also going back to the assignment I gave, that how many times India is there. There are two ways to do it. One is that there is an internal function already Python makes for it. So remember I told you guys that if you guys Google up Python string functions, you will see a lot of functions. There are at least 70, 80 functions that you can use. They're all inbuilt. So it's a good idea whenever you are out there and you're trying to, work on something like this or a problem statement like this, first check if there's already an inbuilt function in Python. Then you can just simply use it and save time and, keep it more elegant, and your code looks better too. So the simple function is .count. And like we said, functions we'll be discussing in detail, but these are just for now. You're inputting some value and getting an output for it. So what you're going to do is you're going to add the string here, whatever you want, and then just do count and put the substring that you want to check. So these are all just dummy variables I'm using. And then see how much, and then you can print that count and you will get the value. So that's how you use count function. Similarly, there are more inbuilt functions. I'm just touching up today some basic functions. So there's one in particular which you might use sometimes. So have you guys ever noticed this? Let me ask you this. And I don't know if you guys noticed it before. Come on, my friend. So I just did news. You can pick up anything. So I don't know if I'm sorry for the bad news, but you see the news headlines, it's always every word is starting with a caps letter. I don't know if you guys ever noticed it, but that's a thing about the news. So now if you wanted to do something like this, if you were to do this in C, there's no way. You'll have to write, I mean, not no way, but there's a longer way. You'll have to write a for loop going through the whole sentence, and then, trying to extract every first word and then changing the first letter of every first word into caps. And it sounds really horrible, right? So instead, let's see what Python has for us. So remember, it's a multi-line comment, right? This is the latest news. COVID cases are on rise. Please continue to be safe. Now, if this was my news headline, the I of is, the T of the and the L of the latest would have been in capital. So if I were to do it using Python, what you can do is, it's very simple. Just a direct command. Does anybody know what inbuilt function it is?
I know there's a upper inbuilt function, but it's gonna give us all caps.
Exactly. We did discuss upper and lower. So let's see.
Oh, okay.
No, that's okay. So if you do upper, everything goes to upper. If you do lower, everything goes to lower. See, but my requirement was I want only the first letters. So as I said earlier, Python is more like English language. What do you think this is? This is nothing but the title of a news, right? So just give a function named title and let's see the magic. You see, Are you guys able to see this? Let me delete it and bring it up. So this is how it looks now. Every first letter of the word is capitalized. So simple. Just do dot title. It's so simple. So similarly, you'll find a lot more string operands, and so basically, why do we call it string operations? Because see, this is your string, right? And you're putting operand to it, like dot and the function. It could be anything, but these fall under the string operations category. So for string operations, you will see a lot many functions like this, just like upper, lower, is alpha, basically whether it's alphanumeric or not. So for example, you guys have seen, right, when you enter those complex passwords, and if you just write basic password, it will give you an error that, hey, you have to use alphanumeric or special characters. So for all those things, Python already has an inbuilt function. So what you can do is, so let's say you were designing a website or something, and you put that, hey, please enter your password, and the user enters a password, you store it in a variable. So if you were to do this in C or C++, I think even Java, then you would have to write at least 7-8 lines program that, hey, if your password doesn't contain any of special characters, or if it doesn't contain upper and lower characters, stuff like that. But with Python, it's simple one line, and that's it, you're done. So try to find some time, guys, and explore all those inbuilt functions. It's very easy. Just Google it, just go through it. You're not going to remember it, but maybe put it in your bookmarks or somewhere. So I'm going to talk about one more, which I think is of importance. So, or maybe get confused. So give me any greeting, guys. If you wanted to say something to somebody, we'll start with like, hello, good morning. All right, and maybe just put some dots. Okay. Now, my problem statement is that I want to know what is the index of this good. Or let me ask you, what is the index of the G? So what you do, you'll tell me by counting, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let's see if print of greeting of 7 would do the magic or not. It does. Let me go ahead and remove this. So as you see, it does tell me G. But this, how I knew? I calculated it by manually. But if I wanted to do it programmatically, secondly, tomorrow, when we learn reading inputs and all, we won't be even using this, right? We'll be asking the user to input it and then returning the index. So again, as it is called as index, it's basically, there's another inbuilt function called index. So what index would take, it won't be just like count or anybody, it will just take the word or the alphabet that you want. See, 7, like we had counted. So now we know that at greeting of 7 is where good morning is starting. Now I have a question for you guys.
So Ankit, this will return the first occurrence only, or
that's a very good question. Let's park it for a minute. Who was that? Tushar? Yeah, 1 second. I'll come to that.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you guys first, what do you think will be the output of this? Now I'm giving the whole word. Earlier I was just giving a letter or a character. Do you think it should give 7, or it should give 8, 9, 10, or should it give an error? Those are the 3 options I can think. 7, error, or 10. Okay, so that is 1. Anybody else thinks it will give an error or 10?
Error.
Error. Okay, that's good. So let's see. It still gives 7. So like Tushar was saying, basically what will index do? It is just going to look at your first character and it is going to stop right there. And that's why I think Tushar had asked that question, and that's a follow-up question. That what if you had another good here? What will you do then? Right. So let's remove this. Let's put it to G. Remember, this is all case sensitive, guys. We have to be very sure. So now I have 2 good, right? Starting with small g. But I still get 7. So there's 1 at 7 and there's 1 at whatever, maybe 24 or 25, whatever that line is. So that's, so let me put this as an assignment also. because it's easy to figure it out. So that's an assignment for you guys to also find out how do we know, just like you do India here, how do we know total occurrences and how do we find out. But let me actually make it even tougher. So I want to know the index of this good, not this good. So that means my second occurrence. So how will I find out? Do you think there's an inbuilt function for it, or do you think we'll have to put some logic? So think about it, and we'll talk about this on Saturday if we have a Saturday session. Otherwise, Monday. I'll post this in the WhatsApp once we're done with the training today. Yeah, but to answer the question, yes, it can be done, and of course, there is a way to do it. So we'll talk about it once we get there. And I think there was index, there was upper, lower, is alpha, is numeric, all this stands with we've done, right? So then we can, oh, but while I'm on there, I have another question. Does anybody know if we can convert? So remember we guys saw the way to define strings. There was a fourth way also where we were trying to convert using the string function, right? We converted the mobile number, it was somewhere here. And we converted into the string by just typing it using str and mobile number, that variable. So did anybody think that can we do the same thing for complex numbers also? So you guys may remember complex number, right? Number equal to 4 plus 5j. So j is the imaginary part and 4 is the real part. So do you think can we convert this into a string as well or no? So first let's see what is the type of complex number that we have. It says complex. So that's correct because you're using a complex number. Now, if I wanted to convert it into a string, do you think the string function would work? Let's try it. Anybody thinks it will give an error? No,
Error.
no. Okay, let's see. So it didn't give me an error, but it gave me this. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you think is this? Is this a string or is it still a complex number? Take a guess. It's okay.
String.
It's a string. Let's see with using the type function. It indeed is the string. So simple answer, yes, complex number can be converted into a string. Now you might think, why is Ankit asking me this, all the stupid stuff? Most of the people I know who learn Python are trying to, go for data science or something related to big data. So big data has a lot of use with complex numbers. And that's the reason I wanted to bring this out so that you remember that when you're working with a complex number, it won't help you when you're analyzing data. You definitely need it to be converted to string. So just remember that complex numbers can be converted to strings and it can be used simply by using the str function. This is the only way you can actually do it. That's another thing that I wanted to say. So just remember that in mind. I'm gonna take it out of.
Ankit, can you please explain that one more time in short?
Sure. So the simple question is that if there is a complex number, right? This is the complex number. That's how you define a complex number, 4 plus 5j or something. Basically integer part plus the, the real number part plus the imaginary part. Now, when you print the type of this, it is showing you as class complex because it's a complex number. But if my requirement was that I wanted to convert a complex number into a string, can that be done? So yes, that can be done by using the inbuilt str function. So you can convert any integer to string or anything to string by using the string function. Remember we discussed about the mobile number example. So same concept applies here, that when you convert it using the str function, the complex number gets converted into a string and it becomes one entity basically. It's no more like the real part and the imaginary part. And in order to prove that, we were just checking using the type function.
What does it show after converting it?
It shows a string right here. Are you able to see this?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So the way it is printed is like this, and the way it is showing is string.
So Ankit, you did typecasting, right?
Well, typecasting is a term used for C, but you're right. Internally, it is the same thing. Remember, first day I was telling Python uses a lot of C language. It is built on C language actually. but there's no concept name wise as such typecasting in Python. But you're right, the logic is same. Converting into from one type to another type. All right, any other question on that?
No.
Okay. So before I go to the thing that we were talking yesterday, I want to tell one more example. So you guys would have seen sometimes when you create a Gmail account or a Yahoo account or something. So if I were to give you my account, I would say my ID @gmail.com, right? That ID could be anything. I don't care about that. But if I give you this by mistake like this, do you think it will still work in real world? And this is not for Python. I'm just asking in general.
No, it's not gonna work.
Have you guys tried it?
I think it's not
Capital will
case
work.
sensitive, right? Like I tried name
Capital
with
will work.
caps. It
Yep.
worked.
We just tried. See, it automatically converted it and it is loading. So it does work. Now, same concept if you want. So again, remember, Python can also be used for web development and stuff like that. In fact, it is used a lot. So let's say you were basic thing, right? Basic problem statement. If you were writing something to validate your URL, that whether you gave the right URL or not. For example, I gave Gmail in caps and it still opened up, right? So how would you write that? Like a program in your whole Python package or whole programming basically. If you were to write in C or C++, it's like you have to make sure that whether it is, you have to run a for loop and check every character and then say it can be a caps or a lower. Again, same thing with the next character, caps over. Same thing till the end of it. But there is a very easy way to do in Python. Does anybody know that? So I'm gonna reuse the same string for just for the example. Oh, I forgot to turn off my caps. This won't work for sure because print is only used in small, not caps. So that is another beauty of VS Code. Actually, the answer is right here. I didn't do anything. This was automatically coming. I just typed greeting dot because I know it's a function, and that's how you can use inbuilt functions. And see, the VS Code gives you a whole list of it. You can actually scroll through it. There's so many functions. See, strip starts with split lines, partition is upper. So is upper is, for example, nothing, but it's going to check whether it's an uppercase or not. That's all. There's a space or not. See, there's so many inbuilt. So I'm particularly interested in this one, case fold. See, when I click case fold, it also tells you what it does. Well, for now, I think you might not understand what it is, but as we go ahead, you will see. So let's see what case fold does to my greeting. Remember, my greeting was hello, good morning, good. So what did it do? This is my output. Let me rerun it. No idea? Okay, let me
Converted
change
to
it a
lower
bit.
string.
Let's see what it does now. Exactly. So whatever be your input, however it is going to convert back into lowercase. So that's what case fold is used. So just the way I gave Gmail. So even if you try a mix of it, like for example, GM is capital and AIL is like this, it still takes it. So internally it is using case fold for the same thing. So these are some of the everyday things that you're going to use because we tend to skip these, but these are really, really handy and you don't have to write a full logic for it. So I'm talking about, yeah, go ahead.
What's the difference between lower function and caseful function?
That's a very good question. So let's see, how can I explain it? So lower will also, so I have to find out a use case where case fold would make more sense than a lowercase, right? So, okay, so I don't know if this makes sense, but like I said earlier, if you were designing Gmail application, then you may want the user to enter it. Now user may enter upper and mix like I was just showing, right? GM capital AIL. Now, if you were to do lower, it will definitely do lower. That's correct. But what if you wanted everything to be in upper? Then what will you do? Then you're going to use upper, right? So case fold is basically case insensitive. So whatever you write, whether you write caps or you actually write lower, doesn't matter. All it's going to do is it's going to convert it to lower. So it kind of gives you that freedom that you don't have to check whether half of the string or some of the string was entered upper or some of the string was entered in lowercase letters. So it's a little more sophisticated way. But of course, in this example, even dot lower would work. So you're right. So again, it all depends. Python is giving you a lot more options. It all depends what you want to use for, right? It really, so like the news example that I was giving you earlier, you don't need title for everything. You only need this for news. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this also. I never even noticed it. When I was learning title, I was like, where the hell would it be used? And then I researched for it and I came through it. I never knew that the first letter of the every word is caps in a news title, only in news title. So again, it depends on your problem description. You may use it or you may not use it. The only reason I find it useful is in something designing like this. I don't have to worry whether somebody entered small case or uppercase. I just use case fold and it gives me always the right example.
Actually, when we are using any filling in application, right, in the sophisticated company, so obviously some people will type one is capital and one is small, so automatically convert to small actually that way also in application form or something online.
Right, that is also another. Yeah, like I said, there could be 100 use cases. It totally depends on what you want to use it for. Okay. So before I go back to yesterday's question, oh man, we're already so much far. Let me show you one more way of, I think I forgot this earlier. So remember we discussed about variables and stuff. Let me comment all this out. Otherwise it keeps coming in the way. So far I was telling you we define variables like this, right? Do you think this will work? Well, actually it will work. Let me go ahead. So this is only in Python that you can use it like this, that you can assign assign values to variables in one line. So this concept is called packing and unpacking. You would have some people who have learned Python or who have gone through it, you might have seen it, but I don't know if you knew the term for it. And this is coming from something called as tuples. We will be going through tuples in next week. And this is a very good concept in tuple, but I just wanted you guys to be aware about it. So now, if I wanted to, let's say, print the values, let me first get rid of this. It should print 1, 2, 3, right? What happened? Oh, something got messed up here. All right. So it prints 1, 2, 3. Now, the simple thing is basically what it means is A is taking 1, B is taking 2, C is taking 3. Now let's say if I did this, do you think it will still work? Will C take a 0 or some other value? Like what will be the C values? Can anybody tell me?
Null.
Null means 0, right, Anusha? That's what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of the output. Anybody else wants to take a shot? Anusha says 0. I agree with her. How about others?
Even I think 0.
Okay, 0. 2 people for 0. Anybody else has any output in mind? So it is going to error out basically. Let's see if I'm wrong or right. Yes. And what is the error saying? Let me bring it up. The error says not enough values to unpack. See, that's how good Python is. You can quite understand what it means, right? I don't even have to explain you. All it is saying is expected was 3, but we got only 2. That means you're missing one more value. So that tells me that you cannot have a thing like this and it won't take a null value. But the idea of null was good. First time I also thought the same thing. So now see, it will only work if you have, so this kind of assignment will only work if you have exact variables mapped to exact values. And that what it means by saying not enough values to unpack. Remember, I was saying this is called as packing and unpacking, and this will deal more when we go to tuples. So the errors are so intuitive that you can actually understand looking at the error itself. You don't even have to worry much about it. So just remember that, guys, you always have to have, and this list is never ending. Like you can give like 20, 30, 40 variables in the same fashion. Like you can continue to do this, D, E, F, whatever you want to do, but make sure the exact number of variables match the exact number of values. Otherwise you will get an error. Was this clear, or do you guys have any doubts? And this is something new to Python. This is not in other languages. All right. I'll take it as a yes, that was clear. So let's go back to our first assignment, or the assignment that we were going towards, about the palindrome stuff. But let's quickly talk about or refresh some stuff that we spoke already about strings. So remember, guys, this was used when we talk about indexing or indices, right? Let me put this in comments. What happened? Yeah. And does anybody remember what was this? Or what is this called? No problem.
Slicing.
So this is, yes. Who was that? Sorry.
My.
Okay, so you probably know it. All right, so this is called slicing, or the slice operator. That's the correct answer. Now, when we were talking about it, remember I was telling you we can do things like this. So what this means, and what this means. This is like double slice operator. So let me explain it again, actually a little bit in a different way. So there are two ways actually to define it. First, I explained you guys like start, end, and step value, right? There's another way to tell it, and that's how Mr. What is his name, who developed Python, he explained this to us. And it's a little tricky, but honestly, if you understand it, it is a lot easier, and then you won't be falling into those issues like we were discussing yesterday. So he says this is the length of the string, this is the start, and this is the step. Now, what do you mean by this? So let me take an example. I'm bored with my name. Give me another name. Sriram. I'm going to use Sriram. So my string is Sriram, right? So what is the length of the string? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my length is equal to 6. Now let's start applying this. So 6, and let's say I want to start with 1. Let's say, okay, let me first take a basic example. Print string 2, and my string 2 is Sriram. So can somebody tell me what will be the output here? Why was there nothing? Can somebody tell me? Okay.
I'm actually confused. Isn't it like starts from 0?
That is correct. Yeah. So that's what I was saying initially, right? These things gets very confusing. So the reason it didn't show me anything, and again, it's out of bounds, but the reason it didn't show me is because I didn't completely apply this logic. This basically helps you a lot when you're doing the negative indexing thing. But let me go ahead and take an example of that. So let me first make the drawing. Otherwise, it will be very tough. Oh my God, not very good with this, but you guys get the idea. And M. I'm going to use both examples, positive and negative. Am I doing the right way? Nobody's stopping me these days.
Oh.
Yes. So minus 5 minus 6. So now let's go ahead and apply this logic for negative indexing. So let's say I wanted to print from IRAM. Very simple ways to start printing from 2 and go till 6. I am not interested in that. I want to go with negative indexes. How can I do it in an easy way? So my first thing is length of the string. Okay. So what is my length of the string? Actually, let me change the problem statement a little, otherwise it will be very easy. So no, yeah, you're right. So let's say I wanted to print the whole string in the reverse order. Let's go with that basic example first. So what can I do? So my length of the string is 7, right? So 6, correct?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 6.
Let me put 6 here. Now I'm putting just a blank here. Just follow with me, guys. And I give a value of -1. You know what this will print?
Reverse completely.
Okay,
Reverse of it.
let's
Reverse of the
check that. So it print MARIRSM. Indeed, it prints the reverse completely. Let me just take this as small, otherwise it will make it confusing. So that printed the whole thing in reverse. So can anybody explain me this part? Otherwise, I'll explain it.
that it will be entire of this thing.
Right, but how? So I want to go one by one. So my first character was what? M, right? How did it print the first one? Then how did it print A? Then how did it print R? That's what I'm interested in. Anyways, I'm sorry, but we have less time, right? So let me go ahead and do it. So let's go ahead with this concept, which Mr. I think it's Gosam, right? Who told us. So what is the length of the string? It's 6. I'm starting at what? Nothing. So 0. And what is my step size? -1. So 6 minus 1 is my step size. What it gives you what? 5. So that's where you start at. So this will be your first output. Then next iteration, what it will be? 5. What is my step? 1, which is 4. So your next word would be 4. Then, sorry, 4. What is my step size? Equal to 3. So your next word would be at the one at the third location. So next one would be at the second location and next one would be at the first location. So let's put it into play. What is the word or what is the character at my fifth location? It's M, right? Then what is the character at my fourth location? It's R. What is the character? Guys, come on.
No, it's A, I think. Sriram. A.
Yes,
A,
so
R.
that means true. What is the character? I. Similarly, it's going to print the whole thing in reverse. That's how negative indexes with step work. Now, I know this is very confusing. This is completely new to what we discussed, but take a moment and we'll take more examples and then you'll understand it correctly. But first ask me a question on this one, whoever didn't understand.
So basically you're explaining the index with subtracting one from it, right? Okay.
No, it's not about subtracting 1. It's about the negative step value, which in this example is -1. So that's why I wanted to go to the second example. What if I do -2? But let's first concentrate here. So anybody has any question before I move to step value of -2? Okay. So let's say if I do 2, does anybody know what the output would be now?
A, then R.
Both of them actually. Sorry, what is output first?
It starts from A.
Okay, A and then RISR.
No, not all. Again, 2 characters will be skipped. 1 will be skipped. And
Yeah, so it's gonna be I think.
AIS.
Yeah.
AIS. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what is the output. Oh, my output is MRR. Why? Let's see what is my output when I do -3. It's just MI.
So it skipped the A and R.
Correct. But then it printed I. Why?
Okay, so it's starting from the considering the last character as the first.
Yes, because the start is the reason it is starting on the last is because you're giving the step value as -1, right? So remember the calculation I was showing.
No, but if we are putting -2 also, then it is still taking the last character as the
Yeah. Let's apply that logic. Sorry, here we are at 3, right? So this is 3, and then 3 minus 3 is 0. So it just stops right there. So in this case, what is it going to print? So 0 is never, 0 is basically gone, right? It's not the 0th location. Basically 0 means there's nothing left. So it's already done. It's only going to print I. But why is it printing M?
R. Okay, yeah. Why it is
So
printing M? That's
is it like it starts from the last number and step is like it skips? Step means that,
Exactly.
okay.
That is
Yeah.
the idea that I wanted to explain. So whenever you have a negative concept here, right? The step value is negative. It's always going to start from the end of the string. That is the only thing that you have to remember. If you remember that, then you can apply either this logic or the logic I explained earlier. It is going to be very easy. Just make sure. So the problem that I was doing earlier was, remember, I was giving this also as minus. That was the problem. So you can either have the step value as negative or you can have the actual value here. You cannot have both. Otherwise, it will go out of bounds. I know it's very confusing. At least it was for me. I don't know if you guys understood it very well. But take a lot of examples. Apply this. I'm going to post this also. And anyways, you have the video. Apply this to a lot more examples and then you're going to learn about it. That is the only way you can understand it. And guys, this is very important to understand. I know some of you got it, but I want everybody to understand it because we're going to use this a lot. So for a simple example, my first task was how do we check a palindrome, right? So you take this string and then you take another string like new string or string 3, and then you just reverse it. So remember what was the way we were reversing? String 3 equal to string 2 of colon minus somebody. I think it was Andrew or somebody pinned that day, right? But nobody knew how it is working like that. Let me just put it in comment for a second. Oh, I didn't print it, that's why. See, it is doing the exact same thing. I could have just told you this and got over with it, but I wanted you to understand the concept behind it. So now the next statement could be if my string 3 equal to string 1, then that means it's a, we'll talk about if conditions later, but it's a basic thing I'm telling. That means it's a palindrome string. If it is not, it is not a palindrome string. Simple as that. It is very easy to explain in 2 lines that, you have string 1 and then you just get a new string using this. But how this works is what I wanted to explain you. So please, guys, today take some time because you're going to forget this otherwise again. And work on a number of examples. Use your name, use big sentences slowly. Use, whatever comes to your mind and make this table. If you don't make this table, you won't understand it. Try to do it with both positive indexing and negative indexing. Once you have a good handle of positive, then go to negative. And negative is a little bit confusing for 2 reasons. One, it starts with -1, not like 0, because positive is easy to still remember, 0 to n minus 1. And second, you have to go the other direction. So I know we are past the time, but any questions on this? I had one more thing in mind actually. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. And then we'll go to the next concept.
Ankit, I have a question, but it's not related to this because
Sure.
you put type statement. So I just want to ask, like in Python, is it important to do the indentation? Like if we just do it in one line, it's not gonna work, right?
It's not. So when we come to all conditionals, loopings and stuff, right? For if, that is where indentation really makes a lot of difference. So right now it won't, like even if you wanted to go and put a tab here, just do it, it will still work.
Yeah, because I was
It didn't.
practicing
Actually,
and it
sorry.
was not printing it. So that's
Yeah,
why
my
I
bad.
made.
It didn't actually. I'm sorry. So yeah, but yeah, of course, indentation is all very important in for loop and if and conditions, because people who have come from other languages and know how if and for works. The thing is, in other languages we generally use, so guys, for those who don't know, if you're getting confused, don't worry, we're going to talk about this in detail, but I'm just giving an answer to Mahi's question. So in other languages we generally use this concept. So we tell our interpreter that everything that I'm doing here is a part of this for loop. But in Python, there is no concept of this. So what we do is we write the condition or whatever here, and then we just give, sorry, that's the VS Code doing some stuff. And then we give a tab, which is 4 spaces. We'll talk about this, but I'm just giving an idea in answer to Mahi's question. So that means whatever you write here, and then when you finish this indentation, this is your part of the for loop. Same thing goes for if, same thing goes for while, any conditions. So this is equivalent to something in C like this, basically, or in C++ or in Java.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was trying it and it was not working.
Yes,
So
yes.
I understood now.
Yeah, indentation is very important in Python because that's how they do it, especially loops, conditions, all the stuff. But we'll talk about it later. But here it didn't matter because I only had 1 line. If I had written a second line, and that's why I was not writing, because people would get confused, but anyways, let me just go ahead and finish it. So this is how it is done. I put a colon at the end, and then I say print, it's a palindrome. That's it. See, earlier, remember I was giving the tab here, it was giving an error. Now it should not. It did not, see. And it did not print it because this is not a palindrome, right? But let's say if it was dad. Oh, sorry, it's double A. Why is it not printing? String 3. Oh, why am I checking with string 1? I should check with string 2. See, it is printing now. But if I give Sriram back, Sriram is not a palindrome, so it will only print the other way, not the palindrome. So it's definitely checking this, but it's not true, so it's not hitting this thing. Don't worry, guys, if you're not understanding it, the if part, just concentrate on the indices part. We'll talk about this much in detail. Don't worry at all. But you got the answer, right? This is the 4 spaces. Yeah. 4 spaces or 1 tab is the rule of thumb in Python.
Okay. And if we do nested, then we just have to do tabs again and again,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do another if, then you go like, then you go like this. If next, new condition. And then this one, see, that's another good thing about VSC. It automatically, it checks whether I'm given, when I give a colon, it automatically brings me here. But if you're writing in a notepad or something, you have to put 2 tabs. So 8 spaces.
Yeah, makes sense.
For this one, yeah. This will be actually even more confusing when we start it, when we go to nested ifs and nested conditions. But never mind, we'll talk about those in detail. All right, guys, any other question before we wrap up?
Ankit, please share that text.
Please, sorry, say, I missed your part.
Can you please share this?
Yeah, I will.
Please share
it in
this
the WhatsApp.
string intro. Yeah.
Yeah, I will share in the WhatsApp. And anyways, I'll share the recording also once it is done. Today, Sriram remembered me, so I'll make sure. And guys, again, I can only request you as a friend, try to do those assignments. It will really help you. You saw today, right? Everybody is silent today except for Tushar and little bit Mahi, because both of them know. But everybody who's starting new, you guys are a little confused, and I can feel it. And it's okay, because these are very different concepts than anything else. So practice. You may think you understood it in the session, but the more you practice, the more you'll understand. Take any words, whatever you want, and practice with those. So let me just quickly recap. We have finished basics of Python. We have finished about numbers, data types, in numbers basically, in float, complex, and sequence, and sequences as in string. So just one quick thing I wanted to show. You will come across this line a lot in your thing, that strings are immutable. What does immutable mean basically? It's nothing. It means that you cannot change the value for it. But you saw we did change the value here, right? We were printing. So if I didn't had string 3 and Oops, sorry. If I just printed this line, right? What was the output? It's still changing. It is still printing the opposite way. Why? I just said strings are immutable and you cannot change it. Does anybody know the answer to that?
It's
And you
just
can
printing,
say
but that variable value is not changed.
exactly, my friend. Tushar, right?
Yeah.
I think you don't need these classes, man. See, if I print the original string, it is still showing me Sriram. But when I print string 2 along with this, it is printing the other way. So both the statements are correct. Strings are definitely immutable. I did not change the value there by using this, but you can still put operands to it. So this is like an operator to it right now. And using print statement, you can work it. That was the reason I had to do this. String 3 equal to, sorry, I can just use the above statement. I don't need to. String 3 equal to string 2. And now string 3 has the new value because I am explicitly putting string 3 as reverse of the string. See? So that is what it means by strings are immutable. And if you want to change anything on string, you have to either copy it to a different string like we did here, or you have to put a operator to it. And that will be only temporary. That won't change the original string. So same way, if you wanted to, let's say, so this greeting.caseFold is actually not changing my original greeting. It is only changing in this print statement. Same thing for index also. Well, index is just a simple thing. There was a title somewhere, right? We discussed. Yeah. So even this title, news.title, it's not changing the original news string. It will still be the same. But when you're printing, it is changing only during that duration. So remember that, guys, strings are immutable. And we're going to talk about this a lot when we go to lists and tuple and stuff like that. So guys, good question. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying, or are you guys completely lost, or do you think this is going fast or slow? I want to know, because going forward, lists and tuples are very different concepts. So is there anybody who thinks I'm going too fast, first of all?
I think the pace is okay.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the class.
I
That's
like
good to
it,
know.
but
Thank you.
since I'm new and I really missed the
Right.
first classes, but I still understood a lot of
That's
it.
even better.
A little confused, a little overwhelmed, but
It
I
is.
think
It
class
is.
is
It's not easy. Yeah.
important.
Okay, that's good
Just
to know, Fahim.
yeah, just give me 1 minute explaining the
Sure.
operator part with the
Sure.
reverse when you print string.
You mean this one or the plus operator? We talked a couple of things, right?
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah, so this one, what I'm thinking is, because I know this is confusing, I have to revisit it tomorrow anyways. So do me a favor, guys. Today, try to practice it a bit with whatever I taught you, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
see if you can understand it or not. I will definitely revisit it tomorrow first thing, because I know I already knew it. It's going to take a while. So we'll take the first 10 minutes and discuss it again. But try it yourself first. And I want to see if you have any questions there, or you might get confused. You might get even more confused. Don't worry. We'll talk about it tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, thank you
All
so
right,
much.
guys. Yeah, no problem for you. So I'm going to call it today. Make sure you let Sriram know in the WhatsApp group what is your preference for the weekend. So all those who joined a little late, we were discussing initially, we might go for a class for this weekend. I'm all set if you guys want to. So could be 2 hours, could be 1.5 hours. It's all up to you. We can do either the new concepts, or we can take your I can take your questions, whatever you want to do. So it could be on Saturday. It could be a little early also, like an hour early. So just respond back in the WhatsApp group with a simple yes, whether you want to take it on the weekend or no, along with your preferable time. Like what time is it? 10:30, right? Either 10:30 or 9:30. IST. No, I mean other time zones accordingly. And then Sriram will let me know if we have at least 10 people. We'll go with the class over the weekend. If not, then we'll do it anyways on Monday. And tomorrow is the class anyways. All right, guys. Yeah, go ahead, Sriram.
Okay. Yeah, once again, I want to confirm before the all guys are there. I mean that only for Saturday or else Sunday it will be.
Sunday also, if you guys want to do it, I don't mind, but I don't know if you guys will be able to grasp so much and without practicing. If you want to do, we can take a call on Saturday also. I'm fine on Sunday also if you want to. I just don't want to rush up people.
Is that if we take 2 hours means we learn something, and as well as we also practice more.
Right, that's what I was saying. We'll do 2 hours on Saturday, and then Sunday you keep for practicing.
But raising
Or
questions, all those things also we can able to understand the concepts.
yeah, we can do that also if you want. We can do a Q&A on Sunday. That's not a problem with me. I just want at least 10 people, because if it's only 2 people or 4 people, then it is not worth the time. That's all.
No, those things I will take care about that, because one thing I want to know that those who are coming into class, all those are in WhatsApp or not. I getting in confusion.
These people can only be from WhatsApp, because I am not. In fact, Harsha has been advertising. I don't even advertise or anything. He's doing it for other stuff. But I mean, this has to be, all people have to be in WhatsApp group. Nobody's from outside, as far as I know.
Okay, thank
And
you.
even maybe Tushar can take one Q&A sessions for you. These days they are simple, basic stuff. I think he can also handle it. Up to you guys, whether you want to make a group and practice it. Like I said in the beginning, right? This is more like a, how do I say, more like a all brains together class, right? So each of us will help each other.
What
That's
we'll
all.
do, let's try our try practice each and everyone. If someone is having doubt, just post in that our common chat,
Correct.
WhatsApp group.
Exactly. That's the
We will
whole
try
idea of
to
the
resolve
group.
it.
Yeah, because your question might be an easy answer for somebody, but you never know. Your question might be a difficult question also for somebody. So ask any question, guys. Like somebody asked today, right? I forgot the name about the dot lure. I'm still thinking about it. That's a very good question. And now I have to come up with a use case for it. Why did they even made the case fold? So whoever asked that question, I think that was some lady, I forgot the name, but thank you for that question. This is what I want from this, right? When I learned, I didn't even think that much in detail. I just thought the Gmail example is good enough. But she asked that question and that has been spinning in my head since the time. So I want to think about it. So that's why ask questions, guys. That helps you, me, everybody. We all learn together. That's the whole idea of this. All right, enough of jibber jabber. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Ankit.
Thank you.